we invite you to take pictures, although we ask you to be careful not to distract the performers. Sing. You will recognize some of these songs, clap, and cheer. Therefore, we invite you to sit back and enjoy Music Corner Studios Productions' performance of Ornament.
Somewhere in the universe, between this night and God, the angel sat upon a star, thinking very hard. To return once more to the earth, he had been assigned in a single gift for all mankind he was to leave behind. But this gift he was to leave could not come from heavenly court. Well, how could he leave something behind if nothing could be brought? Now, this was quite a puzzle. He knew not how to start. And suddenly, he felt the child's prayer reach deep into his heart. although this time was limited, this single night of the year, he could not ignore this child's request of Christmas drawing near. And although this night was Christmas Eve and dreams were all about, somewhere, far down below, this child was full of doubt. The child should have been asleep was instead climbing attic stairs with a solitary candle and a single Christmas prayer. Now, angels, when they are called upon, they rarely just appear, but more often than not, they gently whisper in one's ear. And when they whisper on the night when the snow it glistens, the chances are much stronger that that child should listen. And of all the nights throughout the year that gently come and leave, none holds the dream of magic like this evening, Christmas Eve. And so it is on this night with its promises deep within that the snow now starts to fall and our story does begin.
An angel came down one night to the earth, a mission from God to find out the worth of everything that his children had done since that winter.
come up here to look for proof. Here, in this place closest to the roof. For she has heard from friends who feel that nothing on this night is real, and that no adults truly believe in all these things on Christmas Eve. So on this night that seems to cast a spell, in the same world just tinseled well, she lay in bed that very night and wondered if they might be right. And then she wondered if she might ask about this question that had been cast for adults. She had been told, you see, were part of this conspiracy. And in her mind, becoming clear was the shadow of a child's idea. There was one whose presence alone could reconfirm what she had known. But he, so rarely seen, only appeared in children's dreams. So on this night, with so much at stake, this child was determined to stay awake. Oh, but then another problem came to mind. It seemed this year, fate's unkind. The chimney had been closed this year. Some bricks could fall, her father feared. But then the child devised another plan to hear when on the roof he lands. So with the ghost left here by fate, in this room, she sits and waits. And as I'm sure you all must know, when one is waiting, time seems slow. And this child wondering just what to do and her options seeming few, the angel caused her to look behind the yellow pile of books left behind. And in these memories disguised as junk, she noticed there a well-worn trunk that was filled with toys and one old wreath and several letters underneath. Some ornaments, a hand-rung phone, some records, a gramophone. A mix of long-forgotten words and memories no longer heard. All threads of long-forgotten lives. But somehow here, they had survived. These letters that did catch her eye, now in her hand did seem alive. And as each letter wasn't sealed, a small piece of the past was revealed. For Christmas casts a lifelong spell, and most of all, remembers well. And as that child explored the past, once again, that spell was cast. And as that child began to read, upon this night as Christmas Eve, the angel's plan, as you can tell, was already working rather well. So as the ghosts now gently rise, and this song will simply summarize.
In this room where shadows live and ghosts that failed learn time forgives. Welcome friends, please stay a while. Our story starts with one small child who spends this night in attics dark, where dreams are stored like sleeping hearts. And so it's here that they must wait till someone wishes them awake. For somewhere on this night of nights, she's looking to believe. Here among the ghosts on Christmas Eve. And there near an old-looking glass, there was a trunk from Christmas past that she had somehow missed before, but now decides she will explore. 'Twas filled with toys and one old wreath and several letters underneath. And as the evening hours leave, the child sits down and starts to read. For somewhere on this night of nights, she's looking to believe. Here among the ghosts on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve.
The first letter that she read in the attic, far from bed, was from a father's attempt to say how his first child saw Christmas Day.
There in this night, there is a life, someone who waits for me, dreams of a smile, only a child waiting to play. And now she's found snow on the ground, magic has been set free. She's waited here all of this year just for this day. And then the night comes alive with lights to dazzle and everything's extraordinary. Nothing is left ordinary. Christmas has come with its long memory, and in my mind it always will be the world that she sees. Caught in this night, pieces of light glitter and play for you, and made of glass dreams from the past wait for this day. And if you try, look in the sky, one star is shining through, and on the scene you can't believe it's far away. And then the night comes alive with lights to dazzle, and everything's extraordinary. Nothing is left ordinary. Christmas has come with its long memory, and in my mind it always will be the world that she sees. And then the night comes alive with lights to dazzle, and everything's extraordinary. Nothing is left ordinary. Christmas has come with its long memory, and in my mind it always will be the world that she sees. There on this night, pieces of light. 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 Christmas has come. Christmas has come. The world that she sees. The world that she on this night. On this night. On this night, the world that she
Then, after he had thought a while, the father recalled another child, born at a time now far away, had reached this day. And did the shepherds understand the hopes that were held in this child's hand? And how these hopes would still survive as dreams found in each newborn's eyes? Distant city tower, and as she gazed upon the starlight of this Christmas midnight hour, she wondered if the stars were all but bits of dreams from somewhere in the distance past, that somehow could still be seen. And then she wondered if her own candle, upon this magic night, could be seen by someone far away, as if their own starlight Come on. There, she saw an old gramophone from a time gone long before. Any in this room were born. But tonight, it would be heard once more. For she had found a small handle there upon the wall. And when she turned it twice around, it began to play again.
In the middle of a forest, there's a clearing by a stream where a mother holds a newborn and a child begins to dream. And he dreams of hopes unspoken, where the tears of man will cease, and his mother holds him closer, for he is the Prince of Peace. And the moon is looking downward, casting shadows through the trees, and the stars are shining brighter as they whisper what they see. How the emperor and the pauper, with the lion and the lamb, kneel down for the servants, for his peace they understand. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations, rise, join the triumph of the skies. With the heavenly host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angel sing, glory to the newborn King. Let the bells ring out these tidings, let it echo across the land, that a King is born in Bethlehem, and his kingdom is at hand. Let the world rejoice together as they look upon the stars, knowing every man's a
Now, mixed among these letters was a young boy's school report about the three wise men and how they were nearly caught. Now, many books have been written about what occurred that night. It seemed that this boy's report was based on additional insight. It seemed this boy's uncle appeared each Christmas without fail and claimed to really know what happened in this classic Christmas tale.
Shining, it is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
Now you all knew the story about a Bethlehem, how a child was born and the three wise men heard the preacher tell it like the preacher does. But let me tell you, children, that's not how it was. Now you might ask me what I'm talking about, but I know the part that they all left out. Yes, I do. Did you hear what I said? That Herod wanted those wise men dead, and on that city lead of my great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad. He saved those kids. Now, Granddad made his living playing jazz, you see, but jazz was a big around 180. So he got himself a job in the palace band, where he heard about three kings in the desert sand. Let me tell you, children, that I didn't know three kings in the desert. That's so real and fine. Yes, it is. But Herod heard of it too, and when he heard, his curiosity grew. So he asked those kings to drop by, and my great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad, he wondered why. So the Magi told old Herod that they'd come here to find the newborn King of Kings who would heal our sins. Then old Herod told his guards to follow those Magi, and that the only king around here was gonna be him. And then he told his soldiers, I recall, when the black child to kill them all, and they all heard what Herod said, and they had to act fast, or else they'd all be dead. Yes, they. So Granddad got to those kings, he filled them in on the plan, told them everything. When he heard what they had in store, they grabbed and called the frankincense and
The next letter included a receipt for one stuffed toy bear, donating it to a small thrift shop, but somehow it had remained there. Addicts will have their secrets. Toys will have theirs too. Like who once held to love them, or when they were last new. Or whether they were made of metal or they were cotton stuffed. And how they were left here when they became enough. And then the sound of the wind whistling through the door. The child thought she heard the sound of the children who held this toy before. And she now thought to herself as she held it in her hand that no one can save this world. But we should save who we can. So she placed it near a candle, where she had decided in her mind that when she left this attic this night, he would not be left behind. The next letter that she found was by a ribbon gently bound, a key to a small music box. And as she placed the key to its lock, the melody that had learned once again began to turn. And as that tune filled the air, she opened the letter there. It was about a man, alone, though he was walking in a crowd. And although this man rarely prayed, tonight his head was bowed. Even in a crowd, you see, a heart can feel alone, especially when the night is Christmas Eve. The child is not at home. So from the Father to the Lord, the prayer did swiftly race, but the child, she read it first and listened to its case.
There is an ornament lost inside the night. There on the Christmas tree with 1,000 lights. No one can see her, she's standing all alone. Somewhere she listens, but no one can see her. I don't believe I can say what had happened. All of those words that we put in the play no longer matter. I should have known that then. I just know you're far away. On this Christmas day, on this Christmas day, on this Christmas, somewhere the wind comes moments in the snow. And if he sees her, he never lets it show. He just drifts behind you, erasing every step. Tinsel and gold are whispered through trees. I don't believe I can say what had happened. All of those words that we put in the play no longer matter. I should have known that then. I just know you're far away. On this Christmas day, on this Christmas day, on this Christmas There is an ornament lost inside the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a short 15-minute intermission. There are concessions and refreshments.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, would you please give us a warm welcome back for Ornament? Westport. I already mentioned this once. I need something louder than that. Come on. Is not our show. This show is our show. We need your support. I want to hear that after every song. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? And let's continue. After she had heard the prayer, the girl gently set it free, but the angel followed it to the father's child, in a faraway city. And there, the girl in desperation was searching through the sky for a star that she could wish upon. The stars, they were in short supply. And the only light that she could see there, shining all alone, was a broken neon sign to an old city bar. So on this, she wished that she was home. Every light could be a star. It just depends on where you are and the distance that you're looking past those places where you're bound.
In an old city bar that was never too far from the places that gather the dreams that have been. In the safety of night, with its only hard light, it beckons to strangers and they always come in. And the snow, it was falling, the neon was calling, the music was low, and the night, Christmas Eve. And here was the danger, not even the strangers inside of this night. It's easier to believe. Then the door opened wide, and a child came inside that no one in the bar had seen there before. And he asked if we know that outside in the snow that someone was lost standing outside a door. Then the bartender gazed through the smoke and the haze, through the window and eyes to that corner behind, while standing alone by a broken payphone was a girl. The child said could no longer get home. When the snow it was falling, the neon was calling. The bartender turned and said, "Not that I care, but how would you notice?" The child said, "I noticed if one could be home, they'd be already there." the child wasn't there, just the wind and the snow. Walls and dreams filled the air. So he walked back inside, somehow too different, I think. For the rest of the night, no one paid for the drink. And the cynics will say that's a neighborhood kid wandering in on some bumps in the world where they hid. But they weren't there, so they couldn't see by an old neon star on that night Christmas Eve, when the snow it was falling. The neon was calling, in case you should wonder, in case you should care, why we're on a roll. Never went home on that night of all nights. We were already
Well, I can hear it. You're welcome. The next letter contained a clipping about a man with many things, and in his life of great success, and where he lived the best address. In his happy life, the world didn't know. Oh, because the papers told us so. The angel could clearly see that all was not as it appeared to be. And on this night, as the snow clouds gathered, the man wondered if all that really mattered. And on this night inside his home, he realized he was alone. And he wondered what it all had meant, and how those years had all been spent. And how could he feel his life such a waste when every dream he had chased? Then the angel whispered in his ear, and in his mind he heard clear. Tell me one wish that you have granted. Tell me one life that you've enchanted. Tell me of these things that you've done. The man couldn't recall even a single one. He was close to no one. This he did know. Well, there was one person, but that was long ago. And although this person was far, far more than a simple friend, it was far too late to ever see her again.
Collect
There's something about this night that the Lord, He has arranged that reaches deep into our souls and causes us to change. And angels, they know these things that no man can ever know. And this angel formed a plan to cause the night to snow. When she was all done, she started on the letter, but it was the saddest one. Behind that single letter was a willing photograph of that man from the clipping, or from somewhere in his past. And standing there beside him in the setting summer sun was the woman who used to own this house. Only here, she was quite young. And she had moved to a smaller place, which was only there next door. Then the child noticed something else that she had missed before. The letter had no stamp, it seemed, and was surely never sent. And she sat upon the floor, wondered what that meant. But then the angel whispered to her a most important fact, for compassion to be real. It requires one to act. Then once again, the child came up with the child's idea. But she her that she must act fast. The time was growing dear. So taking the clipping down the stairs, she found the kitchen phone. And she quickly called up information, found the number to his home. And once she picked up the receiver, she told him quite enough. To know who was waiting for him this night. And then the child, she hung up. And then she quickly looked down the hall to make sure no one else is awake. And she found her neighbor's number and repeated the same call.
Railway station on a long forgotten line. No destination, but it always leaves on time. He buys his ticket as the train prepares to leave. Don't want to miss this on this evening, Christmas Eve. He stayed into the night, no expectations. He watched the world go by without a sound. He saw the city lights arrive and fade away, while all that night, the snow came down. No conversation as the snow fell from the sky. His consolation that the world is well disguised. He stayed into the night, no expectations. He watched the world go by without a sound. He saw the city lights arrive and fade away, while all that night, the snow came down. He stared into the night, no expectations, but in his heart he wanted to believe that somehow someone would be waiting there upon this Christmas Eve. And when his train had pulled into that station, While all that night, the snow came down.
You guys aren't fading out on me again, are you? No. All right, come on, let's give it another shot for time. In this final season of the year, this season that we trust, it's not only good to know for whom we wait, but to know who waits for us. And as the reunited couple walked home together to the light of Christmas trees, I couldn't help but wonder how this night had come to be. The child back in her attic watched as they walked through the snow, and she smiled with a child's delight. How they'd never know. And then she suddenly realized, underneath this night of stars, that sometimes Christmas uses its own hands. Sometimes it uses ours.
Christmas time in the middle of a city seeking its salvation. With every string of lights that suddenly appears, children stare with a newfound wonder. No one dares to break the trends. Every wish is carefully numbered. God has granted all a second chance. This day, Jesus in the air.
The final letter that you read was from a younger man. It came within a journal and was written all by hand. It seemed this man had done something so wrong in life, he no longer wished to live. And on this night, I had a dream. He learned that God forgives. If we truly regret how others we have hurt, he will understand. So the man took the message of this night and became a different man.
Was the dark, and the dark was the dream, and the dream was the child, and myself there unseen, and the book was the word, and the word there was truth, and the truth there was age, and the age there was youth. I said to the child, do your hands, they still bleed? After all of this time, do you think they're still in need? But the child only smiled and said not a word, and the snow, it came down as if it hadn't heard. And all that night, the snow came down to heal the scars our lives had bound, and the years that lay broken. And thereupon that bridge of dreams, across the night we walked unseen, with no words ever spoken. We did walk for a while, and our steps turned to blocks, and the blocks turned to miles, and then we followed a path for as far as we could, till we found ourselves there in an evergreen wood. There were thousands of candles upon every tree. It was beautiful, but there was one mystery. For with all of those candles, you must understand that the only one lit was now there in his hand. And thereupon this Christmas scene, the candle wax of melted dreams, and the years they had taken, and as that snow did gently fall, we wondered
all the things that might be. How far everything given that something escapes track. One match in the dark, and all the world's not the same. Every night has picture why this night has a star, and he said, so we know that we could see that far out. These candles are wet to that star's distant light, and it all came to be among that long winter's night, that long winter's night, that long winter's night. Child, he was gone, but somewhere in my mind, I believe he lives on. Somewhere in my life, between here and the end, on a long winter's night, I will dream him again.
The child, as she worked, put all these things away, thought quite carefully about all that she had learned, and realized that her belief in this night had completely returned. If all the things she'd read about this night could be believed, it's not quite possible that they'd all been deceived. And she marveled how every letter, though signed with a different name, in the end, it seemed, all their wishes had been the same. That the light has reached our life from the distant Christmas star. Oh, be it a candle or a star, perhaps just knows better who we are. And suddenly, she noticed that there was a present there. He must have come and left it when she'd gone down the stairs. Then she realized with that chimney, she didn't even have worried it up at all. Christmas, she had found, cannot be stopped by walls. And it cannot be stopped by distance, and it cannot be stopped by time. And if one lived to be 1,000 years, it would still be here to find. Now some will say that that present was left there by her father. But I, for one, will always believe it was left there by another.
child returned back down the stairs to her fading candlelight. She found a pen and paper, wrote down what had occurred that night. For sometime in the future, we really can't say when, someone will read that letter. This night, it will begin. And the angel who had heard his thoughts about all that she had left now realized that his job was done. It was time for him to return. And taking back all he had left, he appeared just in time to appear before his Lord, to tell him what he had left behind. There were two souls reunited on this snow-blessed Christmas Eve. And sleeping safely in her bed is a child who now believes. And once again, the Lord smiled down from his heavenly throne. He whispered to the angel, "Welcome home." May you hear these words all throughout your life. May you hear them most of all on every Christmas night. Merry Christmas.
An angel returned that night through the sky. The time it was short, he had to decide. And so as he flew back over the land,
People are urging me to say something. Unfortunately, I've completely lost my voice in the last 6 hours trying to set up. All I'm going to say is this. For those people in the audience, the Westportians, as I've been calling you all day, my name is Michael Bauer. I'm the owner of Music Corner Studios. And these assorted adults, college students, high school students have been following me around doing this show. And I have to tell you, there's been a lot of fun coming up here. This has been a very new experience for us because we have never taken a private show on the road before. And it's been a really interesting time, and it's been a lot of fun to put on, and I'm really, really hoping to come back again next year. Only next year, hopefully I'll have my voice back. I'd like to thank the Westport Girls Basketball League for having us up here. They're our sponsors this evening. My very large apologies for keep calling you by the wrong name, but I've been sick. That's the only thing I can say. If you've enjoyed tonight, I hope you'll come back next year. If you've enjoyed tonight, I hope you'll tell your friends, and they'll come back next year. This is a lot of fun for us. The show will be different, but the group will be mostly the same. Might add a few people here and there.
The magic's not over. It's not over. Now, I'd like to read a quote by Paul O'Neill, who is the author of, founder of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which our music is based on. And we find this quote very inspirational, and we hope it means something to all of you as well. And so it's good that we remember just as soon as we've discovered that the things we do in life will always end up touching others. It's every gift that we give, expecting nothing back. It's every kindness that we do, each simple little act. But the most magical thing about this night, we will now reiterate, is that no matter where you are in life, it never is too late.
Tell me, Christmas, are we wise to believe in things we've never seen? Are prayers just wishes in disguise? And are these wishes being granted me? For now I see the answering coming home this Christmas Day. So tell me, Christmas, are we kind? More this day than any other day? Or is it only in our minds? And must it leave when you have gone away? It's different now, it's changed somehow, and now you're here to stay. She's coming home this Christmas Day. heart could be. Oh, the trees were the first to live, and every other one was such a refuge. We used to stay close when I was far away. The darkest night, she always felt the star that I was too pretend, no matter who we are. So she's coming home this Christmas Day. Right now!
Thank you for joining us this evening for our performance of Ornament. We hope you enjoyed it and that we'll see you again next year. Have a great evening, drive safely, and of course, have a very Merry Christmas.